And moving on to rising tensions between the US and China. The two were recently at loggerheads in the West Philippine Sea, the waters off the Philippines that Beijing claims is a part of the South China Sea. China claims it allegedly warned and drove away an American destroyer sailing near the disputed Scarborough Shoal. The Chinese Defense Ministry said the American warship, the USS Higgins, illegally entered China's territorial waters off the Huangyan Island. The guided missile destroyer is deployed with the U.S. 7th Fleet that is based in Japan. And the Huangyan Island is the name that China uses for the Scarborough Shoal. It is a disputed region claimed by both China and the Philippines. Now, China accused the U.S. military of infringing on its sovereignty. Beijing accused Washington of violating international laws. It added that America's actions undermine peace and stability in the South China Sea. The U.S. has denied claims by China. The 7th Fleet said that the warship was conducting a freedom of navigation operation. Washington accused Beijing of issuing a false statement. It added that the U.S. is defending its right to fly, sail, and operate wherever international law allows, and that the Chinese statements would not deter them. Now, this marked the first known U.S. military operation in the disputed South China Sea in at least 6 years. It also comes at a time when both the U.S. and China are locked in a trade spat. Now, this is over Donald Trump's sweeping tariffs on Chinese imports. As the tensions soared, China even warned that it was prepared for any other type of war with the U.S. Now, the latest rift in the disputed South China Sea came a day after the Philippines accused Chinese vessels of dangerous maneuvers. This as a Chinese warship chasing a Filipino patrol boat crashed into one of its Coast Guard vessels. High tension, simmering standoffs and clashes are not new to the South China Sea. The region witnesses frequent skirmishes between the Chinese and Filipino navies. The tensions have escalated to a point that in May of 2024, the Philippine President, Ferdinand Marcos Jr., issued a stern warning. He said if a Filipino citizen dies in the South China Sea due to clashes with the Chinese Coast Guard, it would almost certainly be a red line. He added that it would become very close to what the Philippines defines as an act of war. In May this year, the militaries of the Philippines and the United States conducted joint drills. They sailed together in the South China Sea for a 7th time. This was to boost interoperability between the two sides. Now, the growing closeness between the Philippines and Taiwan has also emerged as a flashpoint with China. Beijing claims almost all of the South China Sea as its own. China has also rejected a 2016 ruling by an international arbitration court that found no legal or historical basis for its claims. This has also triggered territorial disputes with nations like Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei. Beijing's growing aggression in the South China Sea impacts one of the most valuable shipping lanes globally. Now, in 2023, 24% of global maritime trade transited through these waters. An estimated $5.3 trillion worth of commercial goods pass through it annually. The growing conflict in the South China Sea poses a massive risk to the global supply chains. However, the regional players who are allied with the US have more on the line than others.
Firstpost now available in 9 languages on YouTube. English,
Stands at $36 trillion.
French,
Le FMI, comme
German,
Geschäftsführenden Direktor,
Hindi,
$30 trillion ka-charge
Indonesian,
pemerintah tanpa pemeriksaan.
Italian,
Kali radikali.
Japanese,
4兆ドル以上の
Portuguese,
por causa do próprio balanço patrimonial.
Spanish.
Beautiful bill.
Go to Settings, click on Audio Track and select the language of your choice. Be the first to know what's happening around you in your first language. Firstpost.